My brother, I pray every day that these Democrats nominate Kamala Harris in 2028 again. And you're here down talking. I don't understand.
I just don't see it, Scott.
I need you to help me will this into existence. It would be the best for America.
Well,
Democrats,
for our party, of course.
If you, whatever.
But Scott,
I say that you don't like. Please, Kamala Harris.
Hey everyone. So Kamala Harris made a big announcement recently, and that is that she is not running for governor of California. Now, many had speculated that she might mount a bid after losing the presidency in 2024, but Democrats themselves did not seem enthused about the idea. Nancy Pelosi said something to the effect of, "I want her to run if she wants to run," which is not exactly a ringing endorsement. But there's one man who's very supportive of her ambitions, and that is CNN's Scott Jennings. So Jennings was on a panel recently where he tried to engender support for Kamala to make yet another presidential run. So let's hear his reasoning on that.
You need to will this into existence. Here we go. My friend, my brother, I pray every day that these Democrats nominate Kamala Harris in 2028 again. And you're here down talking. I don't understand.
I just don't see it, Scott.
I need you to help me will this into existence. It would be the best for America.
Well,
Democrats,
for our party, of course.
If you, whatever.
But Scott,
I say that you don't like. Please, Kamala Harris.
For what you asked for.
Yes, I totally agree with Scott here. So if any high-profile Democrats happen to be tuning in, I would implore you to consider nominating Kamala Harris, to consider nominating Tim Walz in his own right, or to ask Rosie O'Donnell to come back to the United States and attempt a presidential run. So obviously the list of bad Democratic nominees is extensive. Kamala Harris has mostly stayed out of public life since losing the election, but she's back in a big way with a new video. So let's turn to that now. So yes, as you can probably tell from the still image here, Kamala, or more likely Kamala and a team of ghostwriters, have produced a book about her loss, as if we all didn't witness it in real time. But she promises to take us behind the scenes, which I can only imagine involves the extensive preparation of word salad. But let's hear what she has to say.
Just over a year ago, I launched my campaign for President of the United States. 107 days, traveling the country, fighting for our future. The shortest presidential campaign in modern history. It was intense, high stakes, and deeply personal for me and for so many of you. Since leaving office, I've spent a lot of time reflecting on those days, talking with my team, my family, my friends, and pulling my thoughts together. In essence, writing a journal that is this book, 107 Days. With candor and reflection, I've written a behind-the-scenes account of that journey. I believe there's value in sharing what I saw.
I actually would consider buying the book if every chapter began with "Dear Diary." But the title here is of some interest, 107 Days. She refers to it in the video as the shortest campaign in modern history. So it seems like the length of the campaign may be blamed for her loss rather than her actions, words, and inactions in the case of, let's say, the southern border. But I will permit Kamala to finish shilling her book.
Learned, and what I know it will take to move forward. In writing this book, one truth kept coming back to me. Sometimes the fight takes a while, but I remain full of hope, and I remain clear-eyed. I will never stop fighting to make our country reflect the very best of its ideals, always on behalf of the people. So thank you for being in this fight with me. I am forever grateful, and I cannot wait for you to read this, and I'll see you out there. Take care.
You know what, Kamala? I will take care. I feel I've been a little bit harsh on her. That was clearly an authentic message of goodwill at the very end of the video right there. Now, you may not need a refresher on just why so many Americans rejected Kamala Harris, but Scott Jennings has done a pretty good job recapping her greatest failures. It wasn't just Kamala who turned in a subpar performance, it was her running mate, Tim Walz.
I think when your signature move is jazz hands, you're not as up on the white guy code maybe as you think you are. I mean, everything about this guy, from the choice, which was made, I think Shermichael's correct, which was made out of weakness, all through his campaign appearances, and now in the aftermath, I just don't think there's ever been anybody in recent political history in over their head more than Tim Walz.
And did you meet him down Quail?
It is amazing to me. It is amazing to me. Well, he served a term, did he not?
Yeah, and lost a second.
It is amazing to me that Democrats elevated this guy and that he continues to believe that he is going to be a leader of this party in 2028. The problems that the Democrats have with middle America, white men, working class men, if this is the road we're going down, the code talker Tim Walz are only going to get worse for Democrats.
There's also something.
Yes, but unlike Kamala, who has basically shut herself off from political life and is evidently no longer in the good graces of the Democratic Party, Tim Walz is going on a podcast tour to maintain a certain degree of credibility and prominence. To speak to Scott's point here, Tim Walz recently appeared on Jamie Harrison's podcast. Now, you may not know who Jamie Harrison is, and that's because he's pretty boring. But he's being promoted by the Democrats as their new Joe Rogan. Now, their search for a new Joe Rogan was prompted by the fact that they know that they have no idea how to communicate with men, and that this is going to be a major problem for them moving forward. I mean, they spent something like $20 million on the Speaking to American Men plan, with thus far not incredible results. I'm hesitant to give Democrats free advice, but I doubt they'll take this, so I'll give it anyway. Take a page out of American Eagle's playbook. Hire a good-looking blonde woman to deliver breathy sentiments while the camera pans over her various assets. Well, that strategy might be less effective in politics than it is in fashion, but it really doesn't matter because Democrats are vehemently opposed to doing anything which appeals to normal people, at least at present. We'll see if they manage to moderate themselves back towards some sort of 90s Bill Clinton-esque version of the party. It'll be tough. But what do you think? Should Kamala Harris run for president in 2028? Would you like to see her on the ticket opposite maybe JD Vance or Marco Rubio? Let me know in the comment section below. Give this video a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.